It's your guy C-Grimey. You already know, Chattanooga 423 Triller representative, and you are listening to the Urban Voice Podcast. Chill.
What's up, Chat Town? You already know, it's your girl, Empress D. I'm so happy to be back in the building, in the studio, the wall. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to my YP fam. And I'm super excited for this episode today because I'm sitting here with C-Grimey. This is somebody who has been talked up along my journey. Every time I get to rapping with somebody, they kind of hear my rebellious nature and they like, have you met so-and-so? Have you met C-Grimey? And so I am super glad to be here. Like, this might be one of our first, like, real conversations. I think I've seen you in passing before.
Okay.
So I'm super excited to have you in the building, though. Thank you.
Oh, it's a pleasure and an honor. Thank you for having me. So glad to be here. When I got the invite, I was excited to do it.
Yeah, so since this is one of our first sit-downs, I did have a couple maybe vibe check questions for you. So today, if you had to describe your mood with color, how you feeling?
Today's a good day. It's a sunny outside. You know, we're moving around. The weather's warm. The weather's taking a change. It's got to be yellow. You know, yellow represents happiness, optimistic, intellect. So today would be bright and yellow, bright and sunny.
And it was all yellow.
Yes.
I like that song.
That's actually my favorite color. So most days it's gonna be yellow, unless it's a dark day.
It could be dark yellow.
And then boom, it can be dark yellow. Burnt orange. Cool.
Yeah, a little burnt orange. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
I'd be torn between two, but I'm gonna go with teleportation. We teleporting. Like it's a movie, older movie, Jumper, and he could like kind of envision where he was at, and then he could teleport, and that's what I would do, you know, and I would be wherever, whenever, just like that, you know. You
going time frames? You going planes? How you?
It's like I don't think you can jump time.
Okay.
But you can like jump from place to place, physically. So you know, it would make vacationing real easy. Facts.
No, for real, because these flights is getting out of hand. Also, I be trying to be everywhere all at once, so I think that would help on my personal day-to-day life.
For sure. I would just, wait to the last second.
I do that anyways, so it would probably, I try not, don't tell.
30-minute commute would be, erased. So that's what, you get that extra 20 minutes of sleep.
Facts.
And then you'd be right there at the meeting. I'm still going to be 10, 15 minutes late. But
you know how they say the CP time?
See, the divine time. I done switched it up. I say divine time.
No, for real. That's real because I'm not trying to give us too much of an excuse, but everything happens when it needs to happen anyways.
Everything happens for a reason.
All right, cool. If you had to X out one of your 5 senses, so we got hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, and touching. If you had to X one of them out, which one would you X out and why?
For me, it's pretty easy. It's got to be smell because, you would alleviate a lot of stank. and I'm big on smells. You can ask my beautiful girlfriend. I'm big on smells. And when some stank, I'm like, I can't hide it. My face turn up. and I start talking mess. I don't like no stankiness. So
I know her perfume collection on point, huh?
Oh, she's super fancy. So she's got a bunch of dope fragrances.
Fragrance. Yeah. She has her fragrance room.
It's fragrances. It's not even just perfumes. It's
fragrances. Facts. I love it. Yes. You do a lot more than your day job, which we'll talk a little bit about that. You're with the Enterprise Center, right? But we also know that you are an artist in yourself. How did you... what was your story? What was your love story like with hip hop and becoming a savant?
For sure. Just fell in love with hip hop, the culture in general. Then being a storyteller and being so encapsulated with storytelling, I wanted to tell my story. Didn't see a lot of stories that represented the experiences that me and my friends and family were going through holistically. You get one side here, one side there.
Yeah.
So I just like those dirty South black man stories from my perspective.
Yeah.
And it's therapeutic as well, and it's, the love really happened, I think it was 6th or 7th grade. It was a talent show, and we did some Jay-Z, and I can't remember which song it was off the top of my brain now, but the crowd went crazy, and I was like, oh yeah, I like performing.
Oh yeah. You just did something for me.
I like performing. And my friend of mine, his dad was in the music industry. He had an old school studio in his home, his garage. He had like the analog stuff. So I was introduced to recording, like with some old school equipment. You had to get your take right, because it wasn't no pause and punch in. You had to stop, go back, and go forward, because it was analog. It was on tape. So that was a cool experience. That's real vintage now, and expensive to record on analog, but as a young kid, I had great experiences with creating music, telling stories, creating music, and performing. So that's what really got me into it.
Yeah. And so like that, the storytelling has really transformed into what we know as Chattanooga Hip Hop Week. How long have y'all been doing Hip Hop Week, and like how has it evolved over the times? Do you see?
Yeah.
And what do you maybe have in store for us in this upcoming year of Hip Hop Week?
Yeah, great question. We've been doing Chattanooga Hip Hop Week for 5 years, 6. Don't give me the line. But we've been organizing around the space I've been organizing around the space since I was a young artist, of course, but more organizationally and by committee, reaching out to everybody in the community for like 10 years. And it evolved from like back then, 2016, 17, 18, we were just like, we wanted to focus on Chattanooga hip hop, the great artists, the culture, not just the music, but around the hip hop culture in general, the dancing, the art, so on and so forth. And it was just like one day festival. Like we had shows, we had art shows, we had sneaker balls, we had sneaker trades, like Slick Sneaker Con. We was doing Sneaker Con before Sneaker Con. Slick, what I mean? I don't want to get on my soldier boy.
I knew it.
Nah, but but then it evolved into, so how do we not just highlight the artists and the culture and the entrepreneurs around him, but how do we support the artists and give them tools to be greater? So we wanted to do more edutainment,
Yeah, that's my jam right there.
Bring in professionals who are doing the work, to speak, to network, and then give the community the earnest and the ownership for the whole week. And then us as a collective, as a community, use our resources to support and to promote all of the different events until we build something, like a South by Southwest right here in the city.
Come on.
And it's been growing. So the evolution of that, we went from a couple dozen to a couple hundred to a couple thousand to over 3,000 people involved, just with the summit part of Hip Hop Week. So during the week, all of the different events, man, we're talking thousands of people right here in Chattanooga, boosting up tourism, bringing money to the economy from hotels, food, car rentals, what I mean? So, it's bigger than just supporting and highlighting our artists, but really making a stamp and showing how important hip hop culture, black dollars, and urban dollars and money around that is moving and shaking things.
Yeah, like an active participant in, like you said, telling that story and like shaping a narrative of our community here in Chattanooga. I love that you talked about how it has evolved from a couple people to thousands of people that come together.
Yes.
And I know a lot of that involves students. Like our students are, I got some students that's some co-artists right now.
Sure. I mean, hey, tap us in.
Yeah, I got you off air. I don't want to put the babies out there like that, but in a controlled space, of course. But what kind of message do you carry in your music, in the past, now with your storytelling that really motivates, encourages our young population?
Great question, and it goes back to that evolution. You know, when I was a young man, when I was a child, I thought as a child and did childish things. You know, but you know, when you have different experiences, you grow and mature. You see the world for what it is in a different light. I mean, your message changes. It should.
Yeah.
It should. If all the great artists from Any to Boom Boom, you know, they evolve, and so my message is, you know, still really, if you want to just simplify it down to some bare bones, man, a high level overview, be you, be your authentic black self, represent where you're from and what you do, but do it in a way that is, you know, above reproach. You know what I mean? At least try to. You know what I mean? We ain't perfect, but we gotta have culture. Does not mean lacking class and ethics. You know what I'm saying? And when we let our culture be monetized and controlled by corporation, kind of got watered down and took out some of the soul of it, which most things do when it gets, you know, really institutionalized, corporatized. So my message is to young black people: be your unapologetic black self, but think about what you do. Everything has consequences.
Everything,
you know what I'm saying? Good and bad, and you know, one 10-second decision right now can be with you for the next 20, 30, forever.
Yeah, that's real. And I know you know that firsthand, because I also wanted to talk to you a little bit about, I know you do work with the Brave Effect.
For sure.
And so if y'all don't know, this is this word struggles. I struggle with this. Recidivism. That's
Recidivism.
It. Recidivism.
Boom.
There we go.
There you go.
Recidivism. Yeah. So this is an organization that really focuses on re-entering the society, like once you have like served some time. And so you're talking about like that self-awareness.
Yes.
And just the cause and effect that like can be split-second moment, but like really affecting the rest of your lifetime.
Yes.
What's something that you've learned from working with these individuals that has taught you about resilience versus like survival? And how can some of our young people just, you know, the wisdom comes from learning from other people's lessons. So how can they skip some of these hardships?
Yeah, it's an age-old tale, man. A hard head makes a soft behind, you know, for whatever that really means. But you know, just let's look at what they did and what they missed out on. Look at the value of whatever they made these decisions over. You know, we got some guys that robbed a convenience store that had $63 in the till, and you know, two guys robbed another store. It was I think they split $150, and now they ran, they shot at some police, stole a car, and so 2 hours worth of mayhem caused them 20 years behind bars. And so we just try to let the youth know that take a second to think, is it worth it? And it's probably not. You know, even some guys went to jail for selling narcotics. And when you break down the math of it, you know, they were a couple $100,000 up. But then you do 15 years in jail, and you could have just went and worked a $25,000, $35,000 job and had your freedom and lived a decent life. So we try to break it down like that, and then understanding that crime is usually bred from poverty. So if we're baking the bread on the front end, giving people resources, education, access to wealth, access to opportunity, access to a job with a stable wage, they won't be in that mess. And when you have some investment in the community, you won't be destroying it. So you know, when you own that little piece of house, you know what I mean, you're gonna take care of it more rather than when you rent it. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And I like the metaphor, like baking the bread on the front end, especially like you spoke about. That was a loaded statement right there, because a lot of crime does come from poverty and the lack of access to things, access to opportunity to make a couple $100, lack of access of opportunity to connect my skill set with what I truly want to be doing. The access to transportation, just all types of lack of front end access could really help mitigate some of those things.
And sidebar, with transportation, the bus is cool, public transportation is cool. Carter cares. I love Carter, man. You might catch me on the bus. I got a couple cars in my garage, but I love Carter. You might see me on the little short van with the personal pickup. Shout out to the Carter Go vans, man. Public transport. I don't know, the stigma around where we at for public transport is crazy, because it's lovely. It's not. It needs to be tend to and more dependable for the people that know it and use it. But it's a great resource.
It really is, and it goes. I mean, they are continuously trying to expand the routes that it gets to take. So,
don't tell me you can't make it and you live on a bus route.
Okay,
I'm gonna tell you, Carter cares, and it's $1.50 there. It'll get you there. It might take you an hour, but it'll get you there.
Yeah, it just takes a little effort.
Yeah.
And I think you touched on a really important part, is like creating that culture. I think that a lot of times we forget that we are the creators of culture. And historically we have not even allowed, but just due to circumstances, our culture has been like narrated and created for us, which has vilified a lot of the bases. Or the stigmas are tied to
Say it.
Our culture has been tied to a lot of degenerate population, like popularity. There we go. Degenerate popularity. You be cool. You're cool when you're disrespectful to adults. You're cool when you don't care about the societal rules. You're cool when you don't care about women's rights. You're cool when you don't care about your brother's future and you inviting them on licks and this, that, and the third. And so what does it really look like to not only, because back to the Brave Effect, not only rehabilitating the people that come back, but rehabilitating our culture, the core of our culture?
Yeah, shout out to my guy, Joe Jenkins, the CEO and president of the Brave Effect. I don't know what his title is, but he runs it and does most with him and his family, his wife and his family do most of the operations. But shout out to him. Brave Effect is on the back end. You know, they coming home. We got to prepare them and support them moving forward so they have a better quality of life, and the people that were affected by their justice involvement also are supported, because a lot of times we tend to forget that it's not just the person doing the bid, but it's their family. They got wives cheering, mama, grandmama, aunties, uncles, brothers, siblings, cousins. There's so many different and even though they may be doing this and that, they still may be a pillar in their community for different reasons. But there's other people affected, so we get them back acquainted with a society moving forward, so they can make a wage, support their family, have the basic needs, and not only survive but thrive. But on the front end, how we rehabilitate this culture before we can, before they have to even go through something like
it
used to. You have to. They changed the stigma of what really being a rebel means. You're not a real rebel if you don't have a cause. You're just a sword to the community. You bring in destruction. The real rebels that we celebrate is not because they went against societal norms, it's because they went against societal norms that were oppressive, harming folks, and taking away people's basic humanity. You know what I mean? So we got to get that right. You're not a cool rebel if you don't got no cause. If you're just out here, and we have to quit focusing so much on the capitalism side of the capitalism system we live in, and understand that we don't need to move like the folks that taught us and brought us away from the idea of community, sharing, taking care of one another. It ain't about competing with one another.
Yeah.
It's about making sure we got our basic needs met.
Yeah.
If you're thriving and over there doing your thing, looking good, got the big house and the good, but that also means that if you need a couple onions, a couple potatoes, I got you, because we ain't gonna let nobody in the community starve. So that's what we got to get back to. We got to get back to on the front end, teaching our kids real history, real values. And when I say that, people think about the church, and that's part of it, but that's not all of it.
Yeah. Community over capitalism.
Yes, community over capitalism. My bad.
No, you good. You good.
Way, yeah.
Speaking of some of those actors that are really going to help us get to the movement of community over capitalism, who do you think we should be really like relying on? Who's some people we need to reach down to, bring them up to speed? Who are some of these actors that we should be able to count on in our community that may be doing their part and could do more, or just have been sitting a little bit on the sidelines?
Most definitely. The tool that our ancestors fought for so hard, we don't use enough. It's not the only tool in the bag, but it is a major one, and that's the tool of voting and your civic engagement. Go to your city council person, go to your county commission. They work for you. You pay their salary with your taxes, with the taxes you pay from your job, with the taxes you pay when you buy something, with the taxes when you go downtown and park you can't find nowhere to park that don't cost some money. That goes to pay your elected officials. It ain't much, but it is a little chunk of change that they getting on top of their day job or in lieu of a day job. So write them folks, email them, call them, bus up at city council, county commission.
Facts.
And be like, hey, this is what's going on. This is what I need to see fixed in my community, and we'll see more stuff getting done. And again, it's always about the front end though too, because if you got a representative that don't look like you, don't care about you, you're gonna be talking. Might as well talk to a brick wall. On the front end, I'm gonna talk a little numbers, and I hope I don't bore people to death. But about 15% locally where we at, people registered voters vote, right? And only about less than a quarter of that is us. And when I say us, I mean black folk, right?
Yeah, speak on it.
If we have about 15% of people locally are in poverty, right? If we got a high percentage, 60, 70, 80% of those poor people to register, get educated on who's running, and go vote, we could then have representatives in our community that we handpicked, that we know from the community, that we can go to and get exactly done what we want, because that's what they do. They handpick people that have their values, that share what they think is important, and they go vote them, put them in office, and get stuff done. We can do that. Sheer numbers. You can't. Everybody says, man, vote doesn't matter. Well, prove me wrong. Vote in numerous numbers. Let's get 60% of the population to vote and prove me wrong. Yeah. You won't.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about that. Yeah. Because our ancestors died for that for a reason.
That part.
They knew that it wasn't the only thing in the back that we had to get fixed. But they knew that was another tool if we use that tool, and they still try to use tools of oppression, it's another way to call them out. But if you're just on the sidelines and you ain't jumping in a double dutch, you can't be mad about it.
Yeah. And
you can, but the first thing to do is get involved.
Yeah, but at that point it won't matter. Just being mad.
Yeah.
You need to put some action behind that feeling to really get some impact. And I like that you used the analogy of like jumping in the game, because that action piece is like the most important part when it comes to showing up for your community, I feel like. But you really do bring the real in the room with you. I really appreciate that, because I think that's what people need to see, is that you can be a leader in yourself.
Yes.
And so one thing I want to know is, have you ever felt like you have to choose between being respected and being real in a situation? Or do those go hand in hand for you?
They go hand in hand for sure. But you can already, sometimes you can gauge how people are taking your receiving your realness, and some people it may take some time, even maybe some mediation, maybe spending some time with yourself, looking at a different perspective to be able to receive the realness. So it's a battle. Sometimes I'll be wanting to say something, and she can see it boiling in me. She can see it.
Choose them wisely.
She can see the smoke coming out my ears, wanting to say something. My legs start to tapping. But you got to choose those battles wisely. The ancestors and God will give you good discernment. But you gotta be unapologetically authentic self at all times. It'll break you down if you're not. Sometimes you do gotta play the game. We in the Matrix. You gotta play the game, but never compromise who you are or what you stand for. That may mean not hanging with some people. May mean losing a couple dollars. But man, we only here for a blink of an eye. You will be rewarded by Jah.
Facts. The holy, the only. One thing about, I do want to kind of touch on this term unapologetically self for a second, because I don't want people to hear that and think that it's okay to stay only who they are in this moment.
Yes.
I think that you should. I think one part that is usually left out of the conversation when we talk about being unapologetically ourselves is seeing ourselves unapologetically too, and not making ourselves guilt trip over those different traits that might need to just evolve or change or really discard. Like, if you're gonna see other people, if you're gonna walk into a room unapologetically, give yourself that same energy and see yourself unapologetically and be able to change and transform with the love for yourself.
Yes, you need to be ever evolving, always trying to grow and be better, a better person, better member of society and community. But never be ashamed of the things that you cannot change, who you are naturally.
Or the things that have brought you to where you are.
Yes, the thing that's brought you to where you are. Don't be ashamed of those things. And work through. A lot of people don't work through things. They just dodge them and don't talk about them or deal with them at all. And so work through things. If you're noticing you don't like something about yourself or something's bothering you, work through it. Talk about it and get to the root of it. Why is this so?
You said work through it, talk about it. I just want to add another actor that can go into helping us rehabilitate this culture. Therapist. Black therapist. I love them. Because you really got to deal with your own narrative of yourself.
Yes.
Like, what am I here to do?
Yes.
Am I here to continue to add to this false narrative, or how can I help reshape and re-identify what it means to not just be me, but a part of this Black community, right?
Yes. You just got to look inward first.
Inward.
Look at yourself first.
What they say, start with you. Starting with the man in the mirror. So you wear a lot of hats as a mentor, advocate, an artist, a community leader. Which role feels the most urgent to you right now, and why?
Oh, the most important role is always being a father. That's always the most important role. Being a good spouse and a good dad is number one. Then I would say community advocate. I'm after I leave while I'm in the house, of course, but I'm Black man before anything else. Before any title, I'm a Black man on this earth. So if I'm not advocating for those who look like me, share my experiences, and are descendants of the same ancestors, then what the heck am I doing?
What the heck are we doing? What are we here for on this plane?
For real. So that's if we have to put them on a scale in an order, It would be that.
Nice. And shout out to the kiddos. I didn't even know you were a father.
Oh yes. Oh,
father of one or
of three.
Three.
Oh yes.
Okay. They probably the reasoning behind the grays in the beard.
No, most definitely. That's the wisdom. No, that's the wisdom.
That's the wisdom.
Shout out to babies. That's the wisdom.
There you go.
In.
Good answer.
Yes.
There you go. Awesome. Okay, so I want to wrap this interview up with a few hot takes.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, so they're not too hot, not too spicy, but you only have a hot second to answer them.
Okay.
So they're kind of deep, but I just want to hear your initial thoughts on them, and we can talk a little bit more about them.
I'm a ranter, so how many seconds do I got? 2? Because
it ain't that hot. Okay. 30.
All right.
You can do something with 30, right?
Most definitely.
I'll give you 5 to kind of digest it.
I'm a rapper. I could put a lot of words in 30 seconds.
Okay, and if you do some wordplay on it, I'll give you bonus points.
Oh, shoot.
All right, bet. Okay, 5
freestyle.
seconds to digest it, and then freestyle on this hot take topic, all right?
Okay.
Okay, first hot take topic, Black liberation.
Whew, Black liberation, education, avocation. Is that a word? No.
It is, I think. I think you could spell it in the dictionary, yeah. The action of advocating.
Radicalism.
Yeah.
You gotta be radical, man. It's just doing the status quo is not gonna get us free. Your oppressors won't give you the tools for liberation, so you're gonna have to go against some of the norms, and you're gonna have some hard conversations with some people, man, and understand. And read a book. Read a book, man.
Read a
book. Everything. Listen, they don't put everything on the internet for a reason. Please read a book. Ask one of your woke homies what's a good book to read, and woke homies try to give them something on a 6th to 8th grade level. Man, people can't read good. I went to Hamilton County. I might be one of them. Okay, see, I'm ranting.
Okay, boom, time. I'm cracking up. Not no child love. No, that's real. Avocation, education. Radicalization.
There
we go. I like that you had to mention the radical part, because like you said, the status quo, which is just the norm. Doing the bare minimum, waking up, going to work. And I know that's actually very radical. Taking care of your kids is very radical.
Yes.
Loving your partner, very radical. What's some other radical things that people can do in their day-to-day? That'll liberate them in their minds and...
Yes. Educating yourself is very radical.
You did mention reading that book.
Black people, I want you to remember that it used to be punishable by death to teach yourself or your brethren to read for a reason. They didn't want you to have the knowledge. And so educating yourself is very radical. Loving your neighbor is very radical. Forgiving people, putting stuff in the past and moving forward is very radical.
Yes.
Being the bigger person, very radical.
Very radical. Moving on. I love that.
Fighting the system, very radical.
Very radical. Okay, next hot take. Self-control.
Oof.
I think that's also radical.
Very radical. Gotta learn it. Learn your triggers. Be honest with yourself. Listen to others. Listen to the criticism of others, especially those closest to you. A lot of times in an opinion that there may be an extreme opinion one way or the other, and the truth is somewhere in the middle. Mm-hmm. So, be objective. You gotta be objective. Discipline. If you want to reach your goals, be disciplined. So self-control is about being disciplined, and that'll help you reach your goals.
Facts. Okay. Professionalism. Hot take.
Professionalism does not mean assimilation to whiteness. I'm gonna just leave it there.
Okay. Mic drop. Next one. No, that's real. That's real. I think if we want to like just give the people a little more.
If you want to give them a little more
professionalism, presentable.
Yes, presentable.
Present yourself well.
You're hygienic. You look good. You know, we don't see your undies.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You look. You know. You don't look too. You know.
We don't see your undergarments. Period.
We know what to do, man.
Make sure the focus is on you and your skill set.
Exactly. Everybody that went to church with their granny, you know what to do.
Where to slip under the skirts, lady.
You know what? That was rooted in privilege. Everybody has not been to church with their
For
granny.
real, that's right.
You know, so just cover up everything in this, but that don't mean you got to do what they doing.
Yeah.
I see too many of us trying to simulate. Keep that culture in what you're doing, and be you.
Yeah.
Be you.
What's the best way? That's what I would say. What's the best way when I'm thinking about professionalism? What's the best way I could present myself in this space that I'm approaching? And what's best for me looks different than what's best for others.
I agree.
All right, last one. Breaking generational curses.
Excuse me. Go to counseling. Mediated conversations. Recognize them first. Recognize what they are. And look inward. What can I do to change what I don't like? Be the change you want to see. It's cliche, but it's real. You know what I mean? You got to start there. It's easier said than done. But being a bigger person is always harder. We was telling one of the babies that the other day. Being a bigger person is always harder. But it's usually rewarding.
Yeah.
And it'll save you from unwarranted consequences.
You're right.
Chill. So yeah, identify, start with yourself, work on them, and yeah, get counseling.
All right, awesome. Okay then, well, cousin, it's been real.
All right, cool.
What to do? All right, well, I really do appreciate you spending this time with the Urban Voice podcast in the stew. I really look forward to like connecting with you, especially like as a student advocate myself. Yes. Just being a community curator. Yes. And I know that like just with the work that we're both doing, it makes me feel hopeful that change is for real possible. So I appreciate you highlighting all of the things that can help us all grow together. Yeah, we're gonna
do better.
Yeah.
When you know better, you do better, and we starting to know better.
And when you know better, you be better.
And
All right. Well, I appreciate you. And it's been real.
Yeah. Follow me on socials at C-Grimey 423 at CGRIMEY 423 on everything, whatever you use. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a wrap, Urban Voice fam. I can't wait to see y'all next time. Peace.